Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's blog post. It's amazing to have my job and to sit here and watch the market and talk to the people who are working across the country and seeing the comments and the questions that you send in from these videos, as well as the obvious conversations I have with people that I speak to on a regular basis. And it really is, like the culmination of a lot of crazy wackiness that we've seen in our industry. The volatility has been amazing. Yesterday was just another classic example of, waiting for the Fed meeting, where the market was before the Fed meeting, the initial, report of the rate increase, the reaction to that rate increase, what appeared to be favorable reaction to the news went in a half hour from, minus 3 basis points to plus 30 basis points to minus 25 or 30 basis points again. And then back and forth and up and down the stock market reaction. It becomes very challenging to deal with. And I think it's really important that we look at this and say, we don't own any of those things. We don't control any of those things. We have to prepare our borrowers and our clients for all inevitabilities. But the reality of it is, there are two ways to approach it. You can sit in the corner and you can complain that the phone's not ringing or the opportunities aren't there, or, nobody's got any business or whatever it is, or you can get out there and you can make an effort to try to control your outcome. And, I have stated this for years and years and years. The reality of this is you've got to be able to get out there and do what others won't do. And the sayings that I've heard out throughout my life and you've heard throughout your life, probably should be resonating really loudly out there. And common things that you've heard from, and it's not just the mortgage arena, but the mortgage arena is, where I live. The mortgage and real estate communities are the people that I tend to talk to most. But in every situation, the reality of this is inaction is not a solution to anything. And so there are quotes that I have heard from sales meetings and from other speakers and from trainers, whatever, old adages that we've all heard or may have heard throughout time that resonate. Things like everything works and nothing doesn't, or the harder you work, the luckier you get. Things like if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. But if you don't like what it is that you're getting, you have to stop doing what you're doing. Those things resonate. Those that succeed are willing to do the things that those that fail will not. And the reality of it is there's no 100% guarantee of success by doing anything, but there is a 100% chance of failure by doing nothing. And so you've got to sit and think to yourself, am I going to be the person that sits in the corner in the fetal position complaining about circumstances to which we have no control? Or are we going to go out there and do the things that the other people won't do and try to take control of our situation? The common ground between all these old adages, some of these old sayings, is the fact that if you don't do the work, you can't receive the reward. I mean, think about it. For the past few years, loans and real estate transactions fell from the sky. The mortgage people, everybody in our companies, all our referral partners, purchase opportunity, refinance opportunity, it just kept coming and coming and coming, and our lives became just trying to keep up, the struggle to keep on top of all the opportunities that were out there. The problem with that is for 2 or 3 years, everybody focused so hard on learning how to manage a tremendous amount of volume. They forgot, or maybe never learned, what you do when volume slows down and the markets go the other way. It's easy to talk about doing business when rates fall from 5 to 2. It's not so easy when we go from 3 to 7 or 8 or 9 or wherever it is we may go. And the reality has to come down to is doing the work to generate the opportunities. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be work. And you've got to make the commitment to doing the work and understand that others around you may not. So yes, business is slow as rates have gone higher and people are still buying houses. Yes, they're not buying as many houses as frequently as they were this time last year. Get it, but they're still buying houses. Yes, we're not seeing refinances. Refinances are off 85% over this time last year. Well, 85% of a record-breaking year leaves 15% of that record-breaking year that is still happening because, believe it or not, refinances are still happening. And for many people, it still makes sense for them to refinance. So the point becomes is home ownership is still a better deal for most people in most parts of the country and tends to be a safer bet than people who are renting. And yes, rates can go lower, but you can always refinance. That house may not be available, that price may not be available. Getting into a house with a payment that you can afford protects you, at least it guarantees that you've got that payment. You've got that principal and interest payment, that commitment that if you make that payment every month, you've got that house to live in. And it doesn't matter what happens with property values at that point. It doesn't matter because you've made a commitment that, hey, this is my house. And for the next 30 years, I'm going to make this payment so that I can live here. Sure, the value of that house may go down, but then again, it may not. And if the value of the house goes down, it only goes down at the point to when you have to sell it. And what's the guarantee if you rent? The guarantee with rent is the interest rate on rent's 100%. It's a 1-year balloon with no guaranteed option of renewal. Does that sound like a plan? Because rents are still climbing. You can still see all of these people, and I'm getting stories every week of customers who are coming out and because they're getting their rent renewals. And we're going to continue to see. The rents really started escalating last year. There are a lot of people who signed 1 and 2 year leases who have not gotten their rent increases yet. And they're going to be shocked when they see them because even getting back to current market is a long way away from where they are. So today we got the unemployment number. Tomorrow we've got the jobs report. Next Tuesday, we're going to have the midterm elections. By Wednesday morning, the market's going to be looking around trying to digest the information from those elections and what it may potentially mean. And we're going to come out of that one way or the other, whatever anybody's interpretation of the market is and whatever the market response will be. People are still going to buy houses and people are still going to be looking for places to live. And whether or not rates go higher and we see 8, 9, 10, 12, I don't know, rates go back lower and we go back to 5, 4, 3, 2, who knows? We have no control over that. But what we have control over is our own actions, the things that we can do. And over the next few weeks, going through the month of November, I'm going to be spending time each week, just like we did with business planning, talking about actions and activities and the things that we can do with or without other people to generate opportunities. Because what else are we going to do? Sit in the corner and hope the phone rings? And as I've said repeatedly throughout my career, hope is not a strategy for success. All of these things may not work. All of these plans may not generate, enormous results. But on the same token, not trying anything is going to get you absolutely nothing, and you already have zero. And that's the beauty part about this. The things we're going to talk about over the next few weeks cost little to no money. They just take your effort, they take your vision, they take your intensity, they take your desire to succeed, and they give you control over the actions and activities that at least give you a chance to get in front of opportunities. Because I'm telling you right now, loans and transactions are not going to be falling from the sky anytime soon. You're going to have to roll up your sleeves and go out there and do the work and go out there and earn the business. And it's not that hard. You just have to remember what it was like to actually get up and go to work every day and do the things that you needed to do to generate those opportunities. As always, it's Mike at imtcoaching.com. If you need any help, we'll talk to you again next week. Take care.